Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're back on the second 1.98 dev server and it's time to have a look at the Saetta P-494. This is a special Italian boat and it's definitely one which should interest you in the Italian tech tree because it has access to something which nobody else has. It has anti-ship missiles. And it has them in the form of this Neptuno rocket launcher right here. It has 5 of them, and we'll test them out in test drive to show you how they're pretty good at dealing with minor targets. Maybe not as good at dealing with stuff like destroyers, but then again, you can still do a lot of damage from a hell of a range. When we look at the X-ray of the vehicle, it looks pretty standard, apart from this wonderful smoke funnel. Lovely curvature on that. And then of course we have access to 2 engines at the back with some massive fuel tanks, and the ammo storage of this gun is what I would class as higgledy-piggledy, meaning that it's kind of all over the place and just really funny to see. Also you have the 40mm, these are both 40mm 70 Beretta Bofors, so they are the long-barreled, very high damage, high velocity Bofors that we see in naval forces, which should make it a lot of fun. And the ammo storage, it's kind of interesting how this is 2000 and this is also 2000. I feel like maybe they should have just gone with, like, you know, compactness instead of higgledy-piggledy. But anyway, you also have the Neptunos, fire rate of 12 rounds a minute, even though there's only 5 of them. Horizontal guidance of plus 130, 0 to 45 in the vertical, so you might be able to shoot down some planes with it, but just use the Bofors. Targeting speed is 11 degrees per second, and targeting vertical speed is 3.4 degrees per second, which is definitely good enough. Also have access to a tracking radar. The radio station and the bridge are also beautifully modelled. If we have a look at the armor on the machine, it has a standard set of 8mm of armor and 4mm in the superstructure, and then it has 9.52mm of excess armor around the 240mm. So basically, nah, it doesn't have a lot. It's not going to do too much against the majority of rounds coming in, which can easily pen over that, even if they are HE. This thing's also at 4.3, which is kind of a BR, which is meta for a lot of destroyers right now, so this thing's going to face a lot of destroyers with a lot of HE, and it's going to be absolutely barbaric. One of the things that is interesting about the Saetta is one of its selling points. It doesn't actually get stock. So this is what you get stock for a 4.3 vehicle. 2 40mm. Yeah, that's not too fun. And also, because it's at the end of a tech tree, or it's at the end of a part of a tech tree, it's the end of rank 2, then its modifications are going to be more costly than your standard tech tree vehicle. That pretty much means that the Saetta, once you get the rocket launchers, will be a lot more combat effective, but you're going to have to struggle in order to get those rocket launchers, which is never ever fun to do. But in every other part of its modifications, you know, we're not really seeing anything different. A few new shells, such as a HE-P-FF shell. This is actually a HE-VT for the 40mm, so you pretty much have the standard Heffy, and then you have a HE-VT shell. No AP for this 40, so it's pretty much going to be, as long as you don't have anything that you're fighting which doesn't have too much armor, it should be fine. But the moment armor turns up, it's time to whap out the Neptuno, the Neptuno, and give it a good old bap, or maybe try and nuke it with artillery if you're lucky. It also has a crew of 36, even though it's quite a large vehicle, so that is something to think about, and a decent speed of 74 kilometers an hour for this style of machine. So, as we talked about, the main selling point for this is its anti-ship missiles. It's something which is not present on any other vehicle so far. You can see the maneuverability of the 40s is actually incredibly nice. And let's just check if the VT works for these. Oh my god. So here's a plane. Let's see if it works against planes, you know. Kind of. I think it's just hitting it. I don't actually think it's actually... Oh, Jesus. A poor bow fighter. He's had such a rough day. And it's just got worse. But anyway, so you can see what I mean about these Bofors, right? So the L-70s, ridiculous fire rates. They can just keep bapping out damage over and over and over again, and the only thing that's going to stop them is overheating, which really isn't going to happen for a very long time. So we'll use this as an example over here. Let's just make sure we have the HE loaded. So if we get both guns on this machine at the same time, dead. You know, so this thing is going to be really good at taking out PT boats. It's going to be really good at taking out battle boats. It's going to be really good at taking out all of those small machines. But what about, you know, machines such as destroyers, let's say? Well, you do have the 240s which you can use, which only have access to the HE, or you have these anti-ship missiles. Now, these anti-ship missiles do actually able to hull break PT boats. If you hit a PT boat with these missiles, you will nuke it. It's as simple as that, and we'll show you that as well later on. But let's say, well, actually no, we can show you it now. So you can see this PT boat here. You need to make sure that the missile has coverage of it. There we go. If we fire the missile off, it follows the tracker, just goes in, and behind the hill. God damn it, because it went behind the hill it wasn't able to hit. We'll have to wait for it to swing round. But anyway, so you just launch the missile, it follows the guidance in the center after a little bit of a wobble, and you can push it around wherever you want horizontally, and eventually go in and hit the target. And you can see it does a decent amount of damage to destroyers. On the first dev server, it really didn't do anything to destroyers. It wasn't something which really rocked the boat or anything like that. But now, it does a pretty good amount to it, and knocks out maybe about 20 to 30% of the crew, and also will knock out a zone of it. So, oh my god, wait. Do you see that? Do you see the holes in that ship? Oh, we have to investigate this. That looks so cool. Can we do another one? Oh my... Oh, that is so cool. Right, let's go. I'm intrigued now. Because before it didn't do that on the first dev server. So as I talked about, 40s against these little ships. It's barbaric. It should be illegal. But let's go and see what that other thing was. And while we go over there, we'll say, how's your father to the bowfighter. And just make sure that the 40s deal with him. But I still definitely think that 40s are the best naval gun for anything rank 1 and 2. And even on this machine, they still can put out a decent amount of damage. I'm just worried about the fact that when you face a lot of destroyers, which this thing will, and it might even get a destroyer spawn instead of like a standard spawn, then it's really not going to be easy for it to deal with. So first of all, if you want to see what a anti-ship missile does to a PT boat, well, first of all, you just miss with it. You got to give it a warning shot, you know what I mean? So second shot, hull destroyed. So yeah, whenever you hit one of these PT boats with a missile, it's going to hull break it. It's as simple as that. It's not going to be able to fight back, and you can do it from a hell of a range as well on these missiles. They are incredibly accurate, and they just follow your cursor. So as long as you shoot them and the vehicle is not within, let's say, half a kilometer of you, you'll be able to, you'll be able to lay the missile to hit the enemy. So let's do a bit of testing on this destroyer. I want to see what these holes look like. I hope they come up again, they don't disappear, because that was really, really cool. So we'll hit it right here, where we did before. There we go. We'll do one here. Maybe, oh no, don't set on fire, that's bad. But there we go. So let's go investigate our 3 missile hits. You can see them from miles away. It looks like they made a massive hole in the ship. That's really weird. You can see like straight through the ship there. I'm not sure it's supposed to be like that, but it's kind of funny to see. But let's see. You can see the internals of the ship. Oh, that is so cool. You can see the little hits from the 40s. Target undamaged, go away. It's because it's already destroyed. Yeah, look at that. I wonder if you did one on this side and then one on the other side, if you would be able to see straight through the ship like you could do later on. But these holes are magnificent. Oh, look at them. I really, really like that. Like the physical damage models that we see from a lot of vehicles in game have always astounded me, and when it comes to ships, I think they're really underrated for how they're actually seen. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? And of course, with the 40s, you can just do a ton of damage all the way up and down the boat. But I think you understand how deadly these anti-ship missiles can be. Technically, it's a way of being able to destroy 5 PT boats incredibly quickly, or put massive holes in a destroyer from a massive distance away, so you can deal with it. I feel like they haven't fully done the internals of this ship, but still, I still think it's really cool that we're able to see the insides of it after a successful launch of a missile. That is just really nice to see. I wonder, yeah, it goes underwater too. Oh, wonderful stuff. Anyway, this is a new mechanic for naval. There are a few other ones that are coming, but aren't as drastic as anti-ship missiles. I feel like this is a test for the idea, and if it goes well, we're going to see more machines with access to these wonderful, wonderful attacks. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Ambrosius McClellan, B. Young, Blackie, Chris Giltnane, Conte Baraka, Daniel Stanton, Elove Goat, Jay Wilt, Martinez, Trigger Hippie, Eugene's Terry, and also Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.